very advanced process in this field.
Obviously, this is a catching up for China because Soviet Union, former Soviet Union, and U.S. Did this EVA about 40 years ago. But what do you think of this?
I don't like to say it that way at all.
You don't want to say
they
it.
They did EVAs 40 years ago. They did not do this EVA.
So you mean
what I mean is that this is 21st century technology that's in use now. The game is completely different now. The capabilities that China has in its hands greatly exceed what the United States and the Soviet Union had at the time of the Apollo program. It's a new world.
It's a new world. It's a new game.
In terms of
it's
what can be accomplished with modern technology.
And also, many people are talking about the spin-offs of space technology. Of course, the Apollo projects and the Sputnik and the Soyuz spacecraft of the former Soviet Union have greatly mobilized the resources and talents in that nation to join in the space exploration. How do you see Chinese space success will catapult this nation, this people, to have more exploration in this front?
There's, of course, the direct technical stimulation that the economy of China receives from developing the industries necessary to support manned spaceflight. But don't underestimate what I think is the strongest factor of all, and that is the power of images such as this one here, where the average citizen can put himself in space. They can picture themselves in that environment. They see human beings there, not simply as a reporting of a sterile and unmanned mission, but as a human presence in space. They can identify with it. And in that sense, they are traveling along too.
Because your personal experience, how did you feel when the U.S. Conducted its first Gemini missions? You must be very excited and want to come on board to be part of this.
I was so deeply involved in visualizing space exploration that I found myself watching the Apollo 11 landing on the moon and thinking to myself, I know everything that's going to happen, but this isn't a simulation.
This is real.
This is real.
Yeah. And this is real human progress. And let's come back to the exploration potentials. We have been to the moon, and we have sent probes to Mercury, to Mars, and also we have sent a Voyager to almost the rim of the solar system. What else? What else will we do in planetary or even interstellar explorations in the future?
Well, we also have a probe on the way to Pluto right now, so it'll be the last planet in the solar system to be visited. But for human exploration, let's separate it into
robotic
and human. Yes. For robotic exploration, we already have what are effectively interstellar probes in flight.
You mean Voyager 1 and 2?
The Voyagers, and actually the two Pioneer probes that are past producing any useful data, but they're out in interstellar space. We have many bodies in the solar system that have not been explored yet. We have not had...
You mean the planets?
The planets. We've had one entry probe in the atmosphere of Jupiter, one in the atmosphere of Titan, the largest moon.
This is Galileo?
Well, yeah, it's the Galileo probe in Jupiter, and the Huygens probe in Saturn. We have a spacecraft which is on the way to orbit Mercury right now. We have had numerous Soviet and American missions to Venus and Mars. China now has the capability to join that endeavor, and I'm intentionally avoiding the word competition here, because the way the Soviet Union and ESA and the United States are exploring the planets now is a coordinated plan of attack where we share data with each other. In some cases, we build instruments and fly them on the other guy's spacecraft.
Yeah, actually, China's satellite and launching vehicle has been used by foreign companies.
Yes, yes. So in order to have collaborative exploration, one does not have to have 5 countries building the same satellite. That gets to be logistically very difficult.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily economical.
So
either.
that's why international cooperation is so important. Mr. Xiao, do you think there's a potential that maybe one day China will join a program such as the International Space Station or Hubble telescope?
I believe this. In the future, China must join and carry out some international cooperations in the field of space science. And in this aspect, I also believe that China will make more and more contributions to the international cooperation.
What about the applied science field? What are those areas that China has been conducting in the applied science field of space?
Well, now we have the cooperation with Russian scientists for the Mars exploration. And also in the near future, next 5 or 10 years, we have some proposed space missions such as gamma ray exploration and the solar telescope for the monitoring of the sun. And also we proposed a space mission called the Kuafu. And the Kuafu consisted of 3 satellites. One satellite is called Kuafu A. It will be launched to the place we call the L1 place, where the gravitational attractor from the sun is balanced by the gravitational force.
It's a similar project like SOHO project.
Well, for the L1 monitor, is similar to the SOHO, of course, because we are later, so we put some new instruments. And the other concept is we have 2 orbital, which is along the orbit of polar orbit. So auroral activity will continuously monitor.
So you mean we're doing also some jobs and research on the Earth itself?
On the Earth, the very important thing is the source from the sun, how the disturbances from the sun burst and propagate in very near the Earth, and what is the response of the Earth's atmosphere.
Because this is important, because according to the chief of the Chinese Space Authority, it says that China has been devoting considerably energy and resources to the space program that is beneficial to those who live on the Earth, which means the Earth surveying resources, remote sensing satellites. So what are those programs?
I think this program will collect new data that we never have had so far, and also make some new breakthrough in the theoretical study of the whole solar terrestrial system. On the other hand, the space weather prediction level will raise to a high level.
As a teacher, what do you think, Mr. Dong, of those cooperation?
Actually, I'm more interested in the application of use of the space resources, like the high-level resources. You see, the idea, I think, astronaut is an industry. The industry means it can make the society work more better, like the GPS. And we have GPS. Now we have everybody nearly have an easy thing to find other persons. And also, still a lot of idea should become here. Dear teacher, I hope more and more young persons involved in the astronautical industries. And their knowledge, their intelligence not used for the produce a satellite. They are focused on how to use the satellite to service the society.
Actually, this project like this actually can inspire many youth to join in science and math. As I just watched the presidential debate between Obama and McCain, this presidential debate, Obama said that China is catching up because China has done its space exploration and spacewalk. The United States should educate, should inspire its children to be joining in math and science education more.
this is a real problem in the United States right now. Many young people are reluctant to work hard enough as engineers.
Because science is hard.